Okay guys, here we are today. We're in the storage shed here where we keep the boat. That would explain the echo and the noises you hear outside. But anyways, we're getting ready to install the V-T2 Livewell ventilation system here on my Skeeter. I ran these on my Triton 21X, and man, I absolutely loved them. They just did an outstanding job at keeping my fish healthy and alive and keeping the live well water cool, and just a phenomenal product at a very reasonable price. So got the Skeeter, and the Skeeter didn't have them installed on it, so we're going to do that today, and we're going to bring you guys along and show you guys how to do it. So to get started, some of the stuff that I got laid out here, some of it's necessary, and some of it's stuff that's just going to make life a little bit easier for you. But I'm going to talk you guys through how to install them. And as long as you do all your measuring and double checking and make sure everything is going to work where you put it, you'll have no problems. I know it's kind of scary thinking about drilling a 3-inch hole in your live well lid. It's not that big of a deal. As long as you do it right, you take your measurements and do everything the way it ought to be done. When it's done, you're going to get a real clean, professional look. Don't let the 3-inch hole saw scare you off. It's really not that big of a deal, and we're going to show you that. So the first thing, obviously, you're going to have your live well vents. You're going to need a drill. We don't have any electricity over here, so we're going to go with the old lithium-ion Makita for this one. Masking tape or painter's tape, and we'll show you guys. I'll show you. You guys will see me use it here in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically cover my whole live well lid with this tape. That way, as I'm cutting and I'm getting metal shavings coming up, the metal shavings, instead of getting down in the carpet, they're going to stay up on the tape, and it's going to make it a little bit easier to clean up. If you guys don't want to go the route with the tape, no big deal. Shop vac or whatever will clean your metal shavings up. You're going to need a marker and a tape measure. And like I said, you're going to want to take several measurements and make sure that your lids aren't going to interfere with or your vents aren't going to interfere with any of your latches or anything you guys have going on in your live well system. So tape measure and a marker, screwdriver, impact, stuff like that, just stuff to tighten bolts down. Some sockets, I got them laying up there in the front of the boat. Really straightforward stuff. Going to need a set of drill bits. And another really good idea is the trash bag. And what you're going to do with the trash bag is you're going to open it up, and then I'm going to open my live well lid up. I'm going to stuff my trash bag down in the live well. When I pull it open, I'm going to tape it right around my live well lid, or around my live well opening. That way, as I'm cutting through, any metal shavings or anything that goes down below are going to end up in the trash bag rather than in the live well. So anyways, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some measurements and get a rough idea of where I want it. I say rough idea because I'm going to come back and I'm going to finalize it after I get the tape put down and I get my mark made. But that's going to be the first step. So as I'm looking at it, there's really no reason why right in the center won't work on mine. There's nothing down here for it to hit on, so I'm just going to center it. Measure both ways, find the center. That's where my hole is going to be. So anyways, I guess we're going to get started doing that. Alright guys, as you can tell by listening, Mother Nature decided to open up and rain on us, so hope you guys can hear me over the noise of the rain on the metal roof. But anyways, as you can see, got the live well lid masked off. I went ahead and put tape over the latch for this compartment and just anywhere that I don't want metal shavings to get down into. And I'm going to take some measurements here. Looks like I'm 19 1/4 by 13. So 19 1/4 divided by 2, that is 9 5/8, and then 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So that's going to put me, I'm going to go 9 5/8 this way and 6.5 over, and that's what I'm going to drill my hole. That's going to put me in the middle. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mark my hole out. Okay guys, I hope you can hear me over the rain that's picked up here. I already got the Livewell lid masked off, got all my painters taped down. I took my measurements. I found the center of the Livewell lid, which on my boat here was 9 5/8 down this way and 6.5 inches over. That's going to put me right in the center. So it's time to drill the hole, which this is, well actually I take that back. It's not time to drill the hole. It's time to put my trash bag down. So the most important thing here is to make sure that you don't get metal shavings down in your Livewell, because if you do, then you gotta worry about cleaning them out or worry about your pump sucking them up and causing problems there. So just do a good job getting your trash bag tucked away down in there. And there we go. So I'm going to close my lid. And it's time to start cutting, drilling. Alright, the one thing to remember, and a good piece of advice here, is start drilling and forward to get your drill bit to get started down in the lid. Once you get your drill bit started, stop and put it in reverse. And start cutting your hole with the hole saw in reverse, at least for the first several revolutions. What that's going to do, that's going to help cut your carpet without it fraying and unraveling and causing problems. So just one of those little tips that's worth remembering. So with that being said, no backing out now. Okay, I'm in there. I'm going to go in reverse. Alright guys, here we go. Got the hole cut, and as you guys can tell, it made a pretty good mess. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel my tape off, and I'm going to start kind of rolling it to the inside and keep as much of this metal shavings contained in my tape as what I can. Got a little bit of a mess here, but I'm late. Here in a little bit I'll just take some tape and kind of blot the carpet and pick up what I can of the metal shavings and go from there. So first thing I'm going to do here, like I said, I'm just going to roll my tape in, keeping as much of this metal shavings stuck inside it as I can. And there's my hole that I got. So as you guys can tell, it's a pretty dang clean hole. Go ahead and tuck that down in there. I'm going to brush what I can down in this, because remember my trash bag's down there below it, so it's catching all this stuff. And I'm going to put my tape back. Grab me some tape, make me a redneck lint roller here, and just go picking up as much of this as I can. So I want to get all this picked up that I can now, because it's going to make life a little bit easier on me later on. Because when it's all said and done, I'm going to have to take a shop vac and come back and really clean it up good. But alright, here's my Livewell lid with my hole cut in it. I went ahead and took some tape and made a redneck lint roller and dabbed around a little bit and got the metal shavings that are around the hole picked up. I got some more that got off of my tape, and that's okay. I can get them later with the shop vac, but I wanted to be sure and get all of them from around the hole, because this is where my flange is going to set down on it, and I don't want any of them stuck up underneath it. So as you guys can see, when you drop this down in there, I mean, it's a real clean look. I mean, it fits really nice. There's no wiggling around in there or anything like that. So the next thing to do is make sure that I've got this as square with the world as I can. Make sure I want this running as straight as I can get it forward and backwards. And when I say that, what I'm wanting is my fins running this way. I want them running across the boat as straight as I can, because that's gonna, as you're running down the lake, that's where your airflow is gonna be forced down into here. So just take your time here, make sure that you've got it where you want it, because once you drill these holes, it is what it is, and you're not gonna change it then. So from the looks of things, I think that's about where I want it. So now I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna grab me a drill bit. I'm gonna take my bolts and just want to double check the right there. There's 9/64s, which I believe they tell you that in the directions. Probably should mention that they do come with really good directions. They tell you how to install it, and so if you're wondering what tools that you need to get or anything like that, like I said, we mentioned everything at the beginning of the video. But there's also a list of tools that you're going to need in the package once you get it too. So next thing to do now is drill the holes for your bolts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill one hole, and I'm going to go ahead and put my bolt to it. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to drill a hole opposite, till you got 4. So I'm going to drill the one opposite of the one that I just drilled and put a bolt in it, and then I'll come back and drill the last 2. That's going to help make sure it doesn't turn on me as I continue to drill. So anyways, that's the next step. Okay, got my first hole drilled. I drilled this one, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and drop my bolt through it. Alright, that's going to help keep this thing from trying to spin in this hole. And I'm going to come back now underneath. I'm going to take one of the nuts and washers that's provided in the package here. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to worry about tightening the nut down yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get everything put on the bolt just so that I know it's going to stay in place. And then I'm going to continue on drilling the other holes. By the way, I should add too, these are lock nuts. I mean, they're good nylock nuts. You not gonna have to worry about them working their way loose or anything on you after the fact. So not only is it a good product, but they send good hardware with it. From this point, I'm gonna go opposite to the opposite hole, like I said earlier. I'm gonna drill this one, and once I get the bolt dropped down through it, then I'm gonna go ahead and just finish up by drilling my other 2 holes. Alright guys, got all my holes drilled, got all 4 bolts run through there, got my washers and nuts started on each bolt. So now all there is to it is just tightening everything down. And to do that, I got a 5/16 socket here, and I'm just going to put it on the nut. And I'm going to take my impact, you can use a screwdriver or whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and just ease her on down until she's tight there. And it's pretty good. I'll come back after I'm done and double check everything, make sure it's snug. You don't want to over tighten it, obviously. There's no need for it to get too tight, but just run her down like that there. That's plenty tight enough. Snug it down real good. And like I said, these lock nuts aren't going to back off, so don't get too carried away with it. But alright guys, there you have it. As you can tell, I got some cleaning up to do, still got some metal shavings to pick up, but she's installed, and she's solid. It's a good, clean, finished look. I mean, it's something that most people will step in your boat and not even realize is there. So hope you guys learn how learn a little bit from how to install it, and maybe found some things that will help you out, and hopefully you guys realize by seeing this that it's really not that big of a chore to install them. It's not that scary. So if there's anything that we can help you with, if you have any questions about it, just feel free to let us know. Otherwise, for more product reviews, how-to videos, check us out over at gillsgonewild.com. Thank you.